Hello, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. Please feel free to sit back, relax, and stop to smell the roses for a little while. I hope you're all doing well today. Sorry about the early ads. It's the only way to keep pre-rolls off for you guys. Because I know, especially as someone who does mobile view quite a bit, if you have to even refresh the page, it'll slam you with ads every single time that you do it if I don't do those obnoxious 3-minute long ads. So sorry about that, guys. But hey, we're doing some land clearing and resource gathering today. Should be a nice, fun, chill little stream. Good for chatting, good for hanging out for a bit. It might not be as long as it usually would be because I am still a little bit sick, but I'm feeling better than I was yesterday, so I wanted to give it a go and not just sort of lay around. So we'll just get straight into it, shall we? But yeah, congratulations, by the way, to Evil M for that first. And I know that Allskirts was wondering how far the village was. I got back to the village off screen because I didn't want you guys to be stuck watching me trek back for hours. I am not exaggerating when I say it literally took a collective like 4-5 hours to get back out there, grab my stuff, get back here. It was a pain, even with me mostly taking the the waterways to make it faster. So it just wasn't something that you guys should have had to watch. It wasn't pain enough to do. And you are remembering correctly, Luffy, on both counts, actually. Not a huge fan of tea. I don't drink a lot of stuff with caffeine in it to begin with. And I'm actually intolerant to fruit juice. It makes me really sick. So I have to be really careful about what I have. It's mostly just soups and stuff when I'm ill. But before we actually get out there, we do have the Book of Lore today. It's time. Another entry. Our trek is finally over. We managed to find everything that we needed and then some, but not without cost. Not without dying yet again. This time to a pair of drowned determined to drag me down into the depths with them. Unfortunately for them, I never stay down for long. Waking up so near my village and so far from Gizmo and the animals under our care left me in such a state of fury that I hardly took the time to prepare for the trip back, because there was no questioning that I would be going back. The entire journey was a bit of a blur, if I'm being honest. It wasn't until that pair of trident-wielding drowned were dead that I started feeling like myself again, and that scares me. I've never been a violent person, never been the sort to lose myself to anger like that, and yet, what's happening to me? What have I become? Whatever it is, it's nothing good. Which could mean nothing. Which could mean nothing. Don't worry about it. But yes, as you can see, our camels are here safe and sound. We've got puppies, many puppies. I need to actually dye some colors and stuff. I'll do that real quick. I need to make some wolf armor for them before I forget to. I should have plenty of scoots up here. Yeah, plenty. Do I have pink dye somewhere already? I feel like I do. Yeah, I do. Okay. I think that's all I need. Probably. But yeah, there's some ominous, not quite right things going on with Lottie here. And I won't get too into the specifics of that. That's gonna involve that secret project that we're working on soon. It should come pretty soon. We're working on like map and stuff at the moment. So hey, probably, but definitely before the end of the summer. Might be later in the summer than we initially planned because of the house thing and everything, but we couldn't really control that. Oh-ho. Do tell us, Allscopes. What are you working on now? Ah, that's fair. Secret. Secrets for secrets. Good luck with your secret plan, then. I do hope it goes well. Put the die and the little book away so that I can just have more inventory space open. Because we're going to be clearing up quite a bit of land, as you can see by all the fence that we have just for the base perimeter. And even then, we might end up having to get more. And ooh, that sounds like it could be quite the interesting thing to do with Cult of the Lamb, perhaps. Though that could be wishful thinking on my part. I miss Cult of the Lamb. I'm looking forward to playing it again on Sunday. Okay, I think like this area here would be a good spot for it. Yeah, exactly. We've got a boss fight to win. I've got a journal entry all written for that one already as well. It's just a matter of actually getting to do it. I do so love the lore journal entries. It's been a lot of fun work getting to... Yeah, and then they're in there very soon. Ugh, I'm sorry, Luffy. Yeah, that's always such a pain. Hey, at least there's no... I mean, you're subbed anyway, but at least there's no pre-rolls. That's why I'm like, I have to vehemently try to keep pre-rolls from happening. And I'd be running short little ads all the time. And also, it'd be kind of difficult for me to do that since I only have one monitor. Which is, to those who are newer, who don't know, little known secret, I just have a really beefed up laptop that I stream from. I'm going to be completely honest, it's one monitor. So when if things are a little clunky transition wise, that's why I have to do keybinds and tab between. Sometimes I forget. Like sometimes I forget which button goes where. Oopsie. Especially since it's been a minute. But yeah, Twitch likes to be difficult. Like, no, I don't think you actually want to be here, actually. It's like, no. I would quite like to. Yeah. Today is going to be mostly just some terraforming over here for a bit. Gathering resources. I have a build in mind. I don't have it like actually built out. It's just in my head at the moment. But I know what I'm going to need for it. So it's just a matter of actually getting those resources. I'm not sure how much, like in what quantity. I might have to go back out and get more at some point. But I do know what I need. And I do know that I plan on it being quite large since I want to do a full like camel sanctuary. Since clearly they're an endangered species in this world. Otherwise, we would have found deserts much sooner. And that is so valid, Luffy. I feel you. At some point, I may have to bite the bullet and hook up a second monitor to my laptop. But I'm trying to avoid that for as long as possible. I think I do, Oscar. I know that you can get the like some of the stuff for Woolhaven without actually getting the full winter yet. And Cameloti indeed. Camelot. Yes, it's camel time. I'm just so glad that we finally got them back. I was really scared before I remembered that chunk loading was a thing. I was like, oh man, all my stuff's gonna be gone. The camels are gonna be gone because they're not name tagged or anything and they're in the middle of the ocean. No, everything was fine. I think I lost a couple of things to a flurry, like just of the stuff throwing tridents at me and the ocean floor. Stuff sank down. And oh yeah, for Minecraft. I think I remember you saying something about it, but it's been so long I do not remember the details. I do have something in mind along those lines already, lore-wise. It's just that we don't have the stuff for it yet. I've been kind of quietly gathering some of that. I wanted to get a few more builds in before I really do that one. Welcome in, Ellie. Hello, hello. And yeah, Luffy, I'm really glad I was able to find them too. It was kind of a pain. I almost died again. As soon as I got to the ocean and I saw the coordinates were close to where I died, because I had to go back and look at the VOD for that, I was like, okay, I need to make sure that I set my spawn right here so that I could just get right back to it. And that's what I did. And I very nearly had to use that spawn, but I managed to squeak by. Nice shuffle. Okay. Let's just slap that there. This is going to be my little temporary setup here. That's raw iron. I just took out that. There we go. Yes, thank you, Ellie. I am also very, very glad the camels got home safe. That was an experience and a half. It was really funny in hindsight, but I am glad that they got back safe. And yes, exactly. It is, in fact, my coordinates, Luffy. That's part of why I love the mini-maps so much. So I could just go back in VODs and check where I was when I died, and I could go back there. The magic of VODs. Do so love having that convenient little bit of, yep, I can just go back there. Takes a lot of the stress out of it, and the guesstimating. Like, I could have estimated roughly, I remembered where I was, but it would have been a pain to get to the exact stretch of ocean, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't know where I would be without those mini-map coordinates there to save my behind sometimes. It's like, please, I need to know. I need to know where those things are. Because otherwise I am prone to wandering and getting very, very lost. I want to play with verticality a bit in this build. So it doesn't have to be like perfectly even, but I'm trying to smooth out a certain bit of area first. It's like I have a really cute idea planned with the whole like a sunroof with stained glass and like a sun pattern on top of it and everything. I think it'll be really, really cute when it's actually done. I'll probably mock up the pattern with wool on the ground, and then that way I can just build up and build it exactly over where that is without wasting the glass. Thank you, Ellie. Like, overall, it's going to be mostly just very wildlife sanctuary-esque. But I wanted to have, like, a sunroof to protect them from rain, to account for the fact that, you know, this isn't a desert. And there are, like, no deserts in this world whatsoever, really. And I can't have, you know, cacti, because that's just asking for camels to die. But I can have a little dirt block and grow acacia saplings. And have that sort of, like, have trees and stuff for them. And I'll probably eventually, I want to try my hand at building some custom bigger ones. I don't know how well that'll go, and it might not be right away, but I would like to do it at some point. I think it'd look really cute. And we have to, after all of the hullabaloo that went into getting these camels, we kind of have to build something like actually monumental for them, because it feels like a big step that we managed to find them after what, 60,000 blocks of searching over. It was literally a collaborative, like, what, 13-ish hours of searching for camels and nothing until that point. Like, we have to do something to commemorate that. And I will say, I already know who we're gonna be raiding into today, even if I end up going early, as long as they're still live. Because I want to raid into Shauna Jade if she is still live, because she, alongside Peepor, King Alfie, and I know there's a couple of other SBKers, like they're not streaming, but Anathra and Acorn are on currently, who are raising money for Rainbow Railroad right now. So I want to raid into their charity stream if they're still live, which I hope so. They seem to have started like right before I did. And I definitely want to probably build individual builds for the animals and stuff too. I'll scopes the other ones beyond like our little cherry blossom barn, which can be for probably like bunnies and chickens mostly, like more hutch animals that keep them feeling more secure. But we're just not quite there yet. And Rainbow Railroad, Luffy, is it's an organization that aids people like LGBTQ people in distress and dangerous situations, whether it's countries that they need to escape from or bad home situations that they need to get out of. It helps people get out of really bad situations. Specifically, queer people get out of bad situations that are bad because they are queer. I need to get some chests over here, I think. So it's a very good organization, and I'm happy to send people their way. And yes, exactly. It's very much, they knew exactly what they were doing and naming it that. Let me dump a bunch of dirt and wood and stuff in here. Leaf litter. But yeah, it's a very good organization. I want to send, like, I donated to it before I started stream, but I want to send whatever support I can that way. So long as I can. Awesome. I did not get to do nearly as much for Pride Month as I would have liked to, due to the house and everything. But I try to send support, whatever charities I see pop up across, do some research. Rainbow Railroad is definitely a very, very good one. I'm looking forward to when I'll probably, I don't know when I'll start doing charity streams, but I'd like to at some point. I very much would. Clear out some more. This is going to be quite the build. I know it's going to take a bit to clear out this hill, but alas. As much as I would like to play with verticality, I plan to. I need to kind of clear out a space for me to even try to start designing that first. These trees are clustered in a very weird way. I'm gonna get rid of them just because they look funky there. Clear out the space a bit. I will say, I've been, I know we talked about it a bit, and I think it was a couple of streams ago, but I've been clicker training Cosmo recently, and it's doing a whole world of good. But even before that point, we were talking about like tricks and stuff, and I think there is a very, very funny trick that we've managed to teach not only Cosmo but Luna. Both of the dogs know this trick. And it's just because we didn't want to be mean to them when we needed to scooch them out of the way on the couch. We would always say, like in a high pitch, you know, friendly little, excuse me. And now they know, even before, we don't have to sort of gently nudge them over while saying that. We say the word and they scooch over by themselves. We taught them manners. And it's really, really funny to me. They're very sweet dogs. I love them so very much. And it makes life so much easier when it's like, hey, that's my couch spot. Can you move? And they actually understand what you're asking them to do. He's also started to make friends with one of our neighbors, which is very nice. Because Cosmo can be a little bit wary about strangers just at first, just because he is a watchdog breed. He likes to kind of get a feel for people before he's like, do I know? Are you a trustworthy person? And he really seems to like her now, which is very nice. It helps that she was like, are you okay with me giving him a treat? And I'm like, yeah, sure, absolutely. I want him to know that you're fine. And so she gives him a milk bone whenever she sees him now. And he normally gets like freeze-dried treats and stuff here. I don't mind him getting a junk cookie every now and again. But yeah, now he associates her with milk bone and just kind of sits there and stares and waits for his treat every time he sees her, which is really funny because he's smart enough to treat farm like that. But and oh, I love that Luffy. The imitation out. Yeah, sometimes dogs are a lot smarter than a lot of people give them credit for. You have to teach them, but they can learn very quickly. If you put in that time and effort, they can learn. In just a little bit, probably. I'll go actually get some of the resources, go adventuring for a bit. We'll take a break as we're terraforming because I know it gets boring after a bit. Like, even I get bored with it after a little bit. It's like, okay, let's go do something else. Let's go get some, go find some sand and gather some acacia and stuff. But 'tis part of the process. We've got to clear out the mountain that's in the way first. Oh, I love that Luffy. And that makes complete sense, exactly. There's certain behaviors, it's like, I'm going to teach you something else. Like, I'll teach you a different way of communicating that you want to go outside. And that's a very good way of doing it. Picking up and imitating that word, which is adorable. Cosmo, we got him potty bells. And, we got this before we even got him. And the idea was always, I'll potty train him, teach him how to use the bells once he is not a baby. And once he doesn't have to go out every, hour anyway. Because he was so little and he had to go potty all the time. But because he got so used to hearing the bells ring, every time I opened the door to go take him outside, he started ringing them by himself. He learned that the bells meant outside. And he went over and slapped it with, great purpose. It was the most deliberate slap I've ever seen. He was, what? 10, maybe 11 weeks old. He was like slapping it with authority. He was like, yep, I need to go out now, please, thank you. And it was really funny. Of course, now sometimes that means he'll just slap the bells whenever he wants to go outside. But I'll just take him on a walk whenever he does that. It's like, okay, we can go spend some time outside, buddy. Let's go. We'll go walk around, and I'll teach you, because he struggles with leash manners a little bit. I'm working on it. I'm teaching him to not pull, and just generally be better about that, because he can be a bit of a butt. He wants to go somewhere. He's a little demanding. But he's doing a lot better recently. And so, you know, it helps that I'm like not rewarding him for pulling. I'll just like, okay, we'll go outside and we'll quote unquote walk, which is mostly spinning in circles. Every time you pull, we turn around. We don't get especially far, but it still wears him out. And he seems to enjoy going out and sniffing anyway, so he doesn't mind. Especially because he gets treats whenever he does what he's supposed to. And I can give him, like, I can get his attention immediately with the clicker now. Like, while we're walking side by side, if he's walking by my side, I'll clicker and immediately give him the treat after. He'll look before I even have the treat in my hand, because he knows he's getting one because he heard the sound. So that's good. It's good for movement-based stuff, which is going to be useful when we get that agility course built, because we do have the stuff for it now. We got here. It's just a matter of getting it up, which we'll probably do a bit closer to when, we'll do some little stuff probably, like the hurdles and stuff we can do on leash, like the basic ones, like maybe the weave pole and stuff. And then some of the more complex stuff like the tunnel and stuff that won't really be able to do while they're on the leash. We'll wait until the fence gets installed properly. And then we'll introduce it to them there. I love that. Yeah, a lot of them do pick up on that word walk immediately, and they're like, ooh, it's time to go. They get all excited. They start wiggling. Like, I love to go walk. Cosmo, being the way he is, his favorite word is dinner. he knows when it's dinner time. Hey, welcome in, Kat. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome in, Mama Loki. Hope you're doing well today. Oh, I am so excited for this Camel Sanctuary build. It's going to be really cute. For those who just came in, hey, not a problem, Kat. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I should be better soon, I hope. It's just sinus in the, we're getting a lot of storms in my area. It's really hot all of a sudden. And so between the storm pressure and the heat, my head is not pleased. But that's about it, really. It's just sinus stuff. And I'm doing pretty well, all things considered, Mama Loki. A little bit of a headache, but nothing awful. And I hope you get some rest soon, Kat. Aw, and that's good, Luffy. Yeah, sometimes you have to work with a dog. Sometimes they'll have certain things that they're a bit nervous about, and it's very, very possible to get them to get over that fear. It's just something you have to be patient and slow with. Because, like, even with Cosmo, he loves people in most settings. That's the thing. Like, he goes to the groomer, absolutely no problem. He's so happy to be petted by literally everyone and anyone inside the store. He wants to stop to say hi to everybody. But because he's a watchdog breed and he's protective, like, he's not a guard dog. He just alerts. But because that's what they were bred to do, he gets really funny about people he sees on, like, in our yard, near our yard. People who are living nearby, who he sees on a walk and we haven't gotten very far. He's like, what are you doing in my house? But he warms up to them pretty quickly once he gets used to them. He's like, oh, okay, you're cool. We're cool. Cool. He's just like, you friend or foe? And he has the funniest habit of like, he doesn't really I mean, he does bark. I've gotten Tim to be a lot better about barking, but once he's used to somebody and once something's like happened for a bit, he doesn't he just sort of sits and stares. Like he sits down all you know, calm and collected as can be and just watches. Doesn't budge an inch, just sort of watches. And I can break his focus from it, but he likes to watch what's going on. It's really cute. Whether that's like a squirrel or people walking by, he just sort of, or cars. He's totally bulletproof about stuff like that, like cars, lawnmowers, does not care. We desensitized him to a lot of that stuff really young. But he's weird about the funniest little things because he is a watchdog. Like if you put a new lawn ornament, he's got to alert, let you know that there's a new unidentified object in your yard. He's like, what is that? When did it get here? It smells funny. And then he gets over it within a day or two. He's just like, oh, okay, this is just part of the background. Now I understand. He's a very silly dog. Smart as a whip, too, because he really does pick up on, like, tricks very fast. It's like he'll learn what it means very quickly. The only real test is getting him to respond to it. Because sometimes he'll hear it and you'll know. He knows what you want him to do, but he'll decide not to do it anyway. Or if he'll do it and then he'll bark at you in protest or huff. He'll get mad about it. He's like, I'm letting you know that I'm sitting under protest, but he does it anyway. So that could be so difficult sometimes, Ellie. But I hope she hasn't shredded anything too important. And ooh, an Irish Wolfhound Luffy. That's fun. And yeah, that does sound about right. It's like, what are you doing near my yard? Oh, I'm out of my yard. How did I get out of my yard? I need to return. But a pet for the road, perhaps? So fascinating to see how their brains work. It really is. Ah, yeah, that's fair, Ellie. It helps when when it's like a Jack Russell Terrier or a smaller dog breed. I've always been like, I grew up with a pretty wide variety of dogs, to be fair. Like everything from miniature dachshunds to like German Shepherds, Dobermans, stuff like that. But I'm a big dog kind of person at heart. Not necessarily, like, they don't have to be huge, even though I am, as you guys know, getting a Great Pyrenees puppy, which is going to be absolutely massive. They don't have to be. It's just that I get kind of nervous around particularly small dogs. Not in the taking care of them, because like my father-in-law's dog that I had to make sure I left the dredge stream pretty on time to go take out is an elderly Chihuahua with cataracts and everything. I don't mind taking her down, but I just worry that the dogs will get too rambunctious and hurt a really, really little, you know, dog. So it's like, let's not do that. Just not even on purpose, just from roughhousing and playing around. And yes, we've got a really nice sized yard, Luffy. We've got a big backyard that we're getting fenced in, and then we've got like a bunch of side yards and front yard too. It's just surprisingly like, we got a really good deal on this place. We got really lucky. There's my iron. I need the iron. Yeah, exactly. It's very important for a big dog. Granted, they're not super high energy. They're more endurance dogs. But the fact remains that I want her to have space to roam around in for a bit, for us to play games outside, beyond just walking, which there's going to be a lot of early leash training. Very, very early. Like, as soon as that dog can be on a leash, we'll be practicing on a leash before she can even go places and get all our puppy vaccinations. Because it's very important. And yet they're primarily cold weather dogs. They're not like, they do really well in like Ohio's type of climate. We get a lot of snow. It does get a little warm during the summer, but their coats also help them keep from overheating. And also we plan on buying a big doggy pool anyway. We have a little one, like a smaller one for Cosmo and Luna, but we need to get a bigger one so that A, multiple dogs can play in it, and B, she can get in it when she gets bigger. But yes, they do like the cold, and we definitely get a lot of like lake effect snow in our specific area. We get a lot of snow. I've never seen so much snow in my life. I'm delighted by it because I came from South Carolina originally, and I hate how hot it is there all the time. I was miserable there. I've never been a warm weather person. Oh yeah, I absolutely love Girl with the Dogs. We have a lot of her products and stuff already. But I don't mind double coat grooming because Cosmo himself is a double coat, and I'm used to that. I know it's going to be more double coat to groom, don't get me wrong, but I do a lot of very regular grooming, one big groom a week, and then pretty much like every 2 to 3 days, I'll spot groom, get any places that look a little funny, make sure to run the brush through, because he loves being brushed. I built up a positive association with brushing very young. And he also loves the groomers. I started taking him as soon as he was old enough, had all his puppy shots just to get him used to it. And I will be doing the same thing with her so that she can be used to it and there will be no fuss or muss when it comes time for it to be necessary. But yeah, I've got all sorts of tools like the slicker brushes, the dematting comb, just in case there's any tangles that are particularly tricky, the wire tooth combs, the undercoat rake, a whole kit and caboodle. I have like I have even scissors and stuff for if there is any like anything bad enough that it needs to just be cut out, even between grooms. Like if something gets tangled, like it gets something in it or something, and there's just no getting it out without making them like very, very upset and stressed out more so than it'd be worth, then I can just cut it out myself. And I give them treats and they're fine and all is well. And yeah, I get that, Luffy. That's the one and only complaint that Cosmo has ever had, is that he does not seem to very much care for his nails getting clipped. Like, it's nothing bad. And he was actually fine with it as a puppy, is the weirdest part. He just decided suddenly, randomly, after he'd been going to the same groomers for months, that he no longer wanted his nails to be trimmed and decided to be a little butt about it. But he loves bath time, like actively begs for bath time. He adores the water so much. Like anytime he steps in something, gets messy, he has to take a bath or whatever. Yeah, it could have been a clip that got a little too close. Something happened that made him a little nervous, but he settled back down with it. He's like, okay, it's fine. But yeah, anytime he gets dirty, it's like, okay, I'll open the bathroom door. I'll open the shower door. He runs in. He begs to be bathed. And if you can't give him a partial bath either. Like if, oh, he has muddy feet. It'll be easier to just wash him in the bathtub. Let's do that. He will refuse to get out of the bathtub until you give him a full bath. He will cry and scream and throw up. Not literally throw up, but he will cry and howl and be like, I'm not moving. Please give me a bath. It's really funny. I have never met a dog who loves bath time as much as he does. He wants you to get him wet. He wants to be wet. He wants to get in the shower. And ironically enough, Luffy, our actual shower in of itself is kind of in a way basically a doggy shower. Just because the older lady who lived here, It was originally like a bathtub, you know, your standard bathtub shower sort of setup. But the bathtub itself had to be cut out because she could no longer get in and out of it. So we kind of had to do ourselves. Like, we got the shower liner, like the walls up. We had to install doors instead of the curtain that was kind of letting stuff leak everywhere. So it's basically everything minus like the clip. I'll have to get in the bath with the Great Pyrenees if, you know, she needs a bath outside of her regular grooming. But I also have a bathing suit, and that's really not a big deal. I don't mind getting showered as well as the dog. And yeah, I get that, Ellie. When Cosmo was itty bitty, he really wasn't a huge fan of it the first couple of times. But because we bathed him so, like, not like constantly, because we didn't want to make his skin, like, puppy skin is very sensitive, even with puppy shampoo. You really want to be careful about how much you're bathing them. But we gave him a bunch of treats and love and attention, and he just built up such a positive, like, bath time means really good things happen, that now he loves the bath in of itself, beyond just loving water. We got lucky with that. I'm hoping we can do it again. But if not, I will work with her. The good thing about, you know, even with a dog as big as the Great Pyrenees, one, I'm getting a girl, so she's going to be a little bit smaller. Two, I'm really big myself. Like, it's hard. It's not like, oh, a dog that big couldn't pull me, but it'd be really, really hard to. Because my mother, like, before I moved, had a neurotic, like, 80-pound Australian Shepherd. Absolutely horrifically reactive to anything that moved. And she used flexi leashes, all the worst things you could possibly use, and there was nothing I could say to convince her otherwise. And that dog still could not budge me, because I know how to plant my weight and not move. So I can out-stubborn the dog if I must. Welcome in, Val. Hope you're having a good day today. But no, yeah, Ellie, that's normally, and it's never too late. If you give, like, your dog, like, super high-value treats throughout and after a bath, a lot of times you can change their mind. You can encourage them to think, oh, bath time is the place where I get a peanut butter lick mat. Bath time is the place where I get this really cool, like, I get hot dogs or whatever. You decide whatever they really, really, really like little bits of hot dog or little bits of steak, and because you can make it anything a positive association. Especially with food motivated dogs, it can be harder with dogs that prefer toys to treats, but it's still doable. It's just a matter of, you know, finding what works for them. Absolutely. I hope it goes well for you, Ellie. Because it definitely doesn't hurt. Never hurts to try. It might take time, especially with, you know, old habits die hard, even with dogs. But if you can build it up to be a good thing, then a lot of times that's going to make your life a lot easier. That's fair, Luffy. Yeah, sometimes that does also happen. Where it's like, okay, well, I know I get this afterwards, but I'm gonna be a problem during. Which is why, especially if they're particularly averse to the bath, it can help to give them treats during the bath and praise them during the bath too. At least for a bit. Welcome in, Mayan. Hope you're doing well today. And hey, that's no problem at all, Ellie. Everyone starts somewhere. I get it. It's not something that is necessarily easy to find information about. There's a lot of contradictory information, and it can be difficult, especially when it's like, oh, well, my parents won't help, or, you know, because I grew up with a mom who wouldn't. It's like, please, this is not something we need to be doing. And we could have done the right thing. She just didn't care. Which is why I was so glad to finally to move out, have my own place, be able to be like, yes, this is what we need to do. But no, yeah, it's the same principle with like crate training and stuff too. Like training a dog to like the crate, giving them really high value treats from the start so they associate, hey, I get really good things if I go in there. I want to go in there. And thank you for the hydrate, man. I appreciate you. I hope things cool down for you over there. I know it's getting really hot here too. Yeah, exactly, Luffy. There's no one size fits all solution, really. It's something you kind of have to test out and work with your individual animals to figure out what works best for them, if there's anything that, you know, can settle them down, how to redirect their focus, if they're very, very, very stressed, how to make them less so. It's not easy. Oof, no. I'm so sorry, Mayan. That's miserable. We've got some days like that coming up where I am too, and I am not looking forward to it. I know it's even worse for you guys. No aircon. It's like, ooh. Just make sure you take care of yourself and be very, very careful. Keep an eye out for any sort of heat sickness or heat stroke. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And if you have a way to get in water and stay in water at some points, that will also help. Basically, just do whatever you can, wherever you can, to cool down as much as possible, because that is not fun temperatures. Especially since y'all aren't used to dealing with that kind of temperature. So warm. Oh, yay, I'm so glad it's going to cool down on Monday. It's way light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to hold on for a little bit longer. Okay. This is a good start. Definitely not there yet, but it's a good start. Kind of want to start building up a little bit. So I think okay, let's get all of this cleared. I think once I get this little start of the upwards, we'll go take a break to gather some resources that we're going to need. Mostly it's going to be the acacia wood over in the savannah and as much sand as we can get a hold of, because we're going to need the sand for the actual ground. We're going to need sand for the glass ceiling. There's just going to be a lot of sand involved in this build. And I know it's going to take some searching for us to find sand, since, you know, there's really not many deserts around. And we're not going all the way back out there. No, thank you. Yeah, I feel you, Luffy. We're gonna be getting up to those temperatures in like a few days, and I am not looking forward to it. It's definitely gonna be let's walk the dog really early in the morning and really late at night type of days. It's like, oh, we'll walk. Once it starts cooling down, probably mostly early in the morning. And even then, it's only going to get so cool, but it's just the lesser of all the evil. Especially because Cosmo is not too big a fan of the heat either. Luna doesn't mind it as much. She hates the snow. Not like hates it. She does have fun with it sometimes. She's just like, okay, well, I'm done now. She's a short-haired dog. She's like, okay, I've had enough of that now. She's the type of dog that, you know, even though she's a lab picnic, she's pretty decently sized. She's like about 40 pounds or so. If it gets cold enough, she'll get the sweater on so that she likes to have the sweater on, actually, which is really funny. She's like, yeah, I get to be warmer and swaddled. Which does make sense, because she really likes the blankets. She's the dog that actually sleeps in our bed with us. Cosmo doesn't want to. He's absolutely uninterested in doing that. Welcome in, Alora. Hope you're doing well today. But yeah, Cosmo wants absolutely nothing to do with. He won't even nap in the bed. He's like, no, thank you. He'll play on it sometimes when we're up and moving about. But when it's bedtime, he walks straight to his crate and demands his cookie and says goodnight. Not a problem at all, Alora. Hope you have a good time. Thank you for lurking. Okay. We're starting to make some upward moves here. Inventory is full again. All of the dirt, cobblestone, goodness me. The fact that this is literally all just, except for the cherry planks that I had on me, just clearing stuff out is crazy to me. It's just me terraforming over here. Okay. Let's go get this stuff smelting over in the base. Pass the night. And then we'll go get some stuff like the acacia wood, leaves, and everything over there. Just gotta get more iron on me. We're gonna have to go mining again at some point soon because I accidentally made so much iron into iron pants. And now I have a bunch of iron pants that I don't need. Okay. Me. Need the brick wall here. I at least do have the stone brick wall that we can surround the sanctuary with temporarily because we do have to mine more slate as well. We're gonna have to like strip mine. It's probably gonna be the goal to both replenish iron and to get a bunch of deep slate. But that's for another stream. That is not necessary right now. Go to bed. Lots of projects and things to work on here, but it's been coming along pretty nicely. My camels, my beloved camels. And I do know that Savannah's over this way. Hello, Iron Golem. have that there just in case I need it. Go to the savannah. Gather up sand along, shorelines, cut down the trees, all that good stuff. I do have a decent bit of iron on me, so I should be alright. Stick. Okay. It's actually surprising how much sand you can find. Such a small space, and yet so much sand. We're gonna need so much sand. That's the one thing that I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a bit of a pain. But it's gonna be so worth it once it's done. Thank you for the lurk, Ellie. Good luck with walking your dog. Hope it all goes well. And apologies to everyone for the ads. Hello, drowned. You're not scary. You're a normal drowned. You don't have a trident or nothing. I forgot that was my switch button. You're moving so slowly, too. Like, do you want to actually get me or no? Come on. Thank you. Oh, you got a piece of copper. All right. So much. Oh, we're making good progress so far. 4 stacks of sand just from taking sand alongside the shoreline. And welcome back from the ads. Those of you who are sticking through them, I appreciate you. Hello, it's another drowned. They are not very pleased about me just gathering. They can cope. There's so much sand here. It is getting down to the point where it's deep enough that it's not really worth me or bothering with it. But I will take care of this guy before he can cause any problems later down the river here. Sand over here. Just scooch over this way. Only the best for our camels. They've come so far to be here. We have to give them a good home. Still cannot believe that trek was like 25,000 blocks. Crazy. Welcome back, Flavor Schmub. I appreciate you. Thank you for that previous lurk. I should probably set up an unlurk command, honestly. I didn't even think about that one. That's something I can do real quick after stream. It shouldn't be an issue. Let's gather this shoreline. Not too much longer. Wow, that's actually, I'm getting a lot more sand than I expected. Okay, that's not bad. This might not be as hard as I thought it was going to be to gather the resources. I was a little worried about the sand. I could be severely underestimating how much sand I'll need, but I don't think it's going to be that. Well, yeah, it is going to be all the land. It's still not going to be that crazy. It's going to be a big enclosure, don't get me wrong, but we can at least take what sand we have, start covering the ground with it, and see where we're at resource-wise before worrying about the ceiling made of glass. Okay. 7 stacks so far. Not bad. Let's collect the easy sand first. Now that we've got a chunk of it. Get at least it's still easy. Another shovel. So many iron shovels. But such is the resource gathering grind. Especially since I don't really... I have some enchantments, but I don't really have the levels anymore. Because those trident wielding drowned. So alas, we're gonna have to build that back up. Okay. I feel like that's good for now. 8 stacks and then some. Should be alright for now. We still have to do the actual like base of the thing before we get to the glass ceiling anyway. I'm just still trying to get a feel for exactly how big this is. Moment. I'm not gonna get like leaves from all the trees, but I want to gather some for like potentially making custom trees in this exhibit later. So while I still have shears, I might as well use up the ones that I have and make a fresh pair. Just to be efficient about it. There we go. Just gathering some while I had it. But yeah, I figured the acacia trees are going to be my best bet of making it look kind of like naturalistic and like an actual exhibit in Sanctuary. Seen as you can't have cacti in there or they'll just die. Better to be safe than sorry. I'm hoping I can get a lot of these bigger trees like this. Because I really like the shape of these. See if I can get some saplings for the plant. Need to replace what I'm taking here. It's really not bad. I just need to get more wood, I think, mostly. Probably a few stacks, just to be safe. I don't know how big whatever custom tree I would like to make would be, but it's probably going to be pretty sizable if I do, / when I do get around to making it. Doesn't hurt to have the resources just there and ready to go. I have to gather the stuff anyway. The more saplings I have right now, the better. Cut down some of these trees here. Yeah, acacia trees have such funky and fun shapes. I'm a big fan of these guys. Ow. There's no need for that. Is that a trident wielding drown down there too? No, it's just the skeleton drowning. Well, I guess that's not really my problem. Oh, hello, wandering trader. You got anything worth trading for? Not really. Carry on then, sir. Could have made a quick pit stop back, but not really anything worth doing that for. Okay, there we go. There's a bunch of saplings. That's mostly what I was going for here. Over a stack, which isn't really enough to make too many custom trees, but I'm probably not going to do it for a bit. I can always cut down. I'll probably be cutting down some trees that I don't like the shape of when I grow the saplings anyway. I have to make some bone meal. I think I have some, but I've got a composter back at the base, so it doesn't really matter. I can just make it out of all the flowers and stuff around. Yeah, let's head back for a bit. There we go. Let's actually get to putting some of the sand and stuff down so we can get a feel for what it's going to look like a bit more. I'm going to put a cherry fence ring around it once we actually get to the, the construction part, and then those are going to go like up in arches to support the glass ceiling. But for now, let's just get the sand down so I can get a feel for what it's going to look like as we, especially with the inclines and stuff I want to do. Let me set this up again. Okay. This is going to be for the stuff that I'm actually using in the build and not just the junk that I'm clearing out. So that I can organize my inventory a little bit here. For now, though, sand. Let's see. Where do I want to start this? Pretty much probably right away. Clear out this stuff. So we can actually look, get a feel for the actual terrain, what it'll look like once we're done. Just a warning to you guys that I may have to pause briefly at some point during the stream, depending on if the dogs start fussing. Because, you know, sometimes they're very particular about, hey, it's supposed to be dinner time. And other times they don't mind as much. Moth is working this evening, so if they do start fussing, I will have to pause to go feed the puppies. Which, speaking of, actually, I think I forgot to turn something back on for you guys real quick. Because I was doing the dredge stream. Hold, please. Channel points. There we go. I can turn feed the dogs back on for in-game feeding of dogs. Unless specified otherwise. It's just like, wait a second. There we go. Get that done. get into the rhythm of it after a bit. But I hope you guys have been having a good day, all things considered, and that that the respective heat waves all around the world is not affecting it too bad. Just make sure you all take care of yourselves. Hello, Enderman. There's always, because of the cave systems in this area, I swear there's always an Enderman just teleporting around. Hello. You don't need to be up this close and personal to me, you know. I'm also going too far here. Not really, no. I think maybe it'll be better to soften that up. That'll be for fence. Time. I feel like probably also, just because of this, I want to soften this edge too. Make it dirt here. It's less rough of a transition there. Whoop. Okay, there he is crying. I will be right back, you guys. I've got to go feed the dogs. I'll make sure to pin a message for anyone who's lurking and isn't generally around right now. But I will be back as soon as possible. Promise you. Just got to feed him, feed both of the puppies, and probably take him out real quick. So I'll be back soon. Okay, we're back now. Sorry about that, guys. Dogs are fed, dogs are settled. All is good. Make sure everything's good. All right. Let's get back to digging all this out. Thank you, Luffy. I appreciate you. Like I said, some days they're perfectly fine to wait until after stream. They can wait a bit later. Other days they're like, hey, wait a minute, it's dinner time, and they suddenly realize it's time to be up right now. And Moth's work schedule can be a bit unpredictable, though it seems to be evening out a bit more, so. I appreciate the retroactive feed the dogs, Luffy. But no, yeah, it's like once he starts crying, it's like, nope, gotta feed him. Because Cosmo does not cry in that crate unless he needs something. He loves this crate. It's always, we know, like in the mornings he'll cry as soon as he's like, okay, I need to go potty now. And he'll cry when it's dinner time on evening streams sometimes. And that is it. So if he starts crying, I'm not gonna leave him to cry. And though he very much did not want to go back in there, the bribe of a whole herring will suffice. Bribe of a whole herring will always suffice, most likely. If it ever got to that point, I'd be like, okay, well, if the whole fish doesn't work, I guess we'll do a peanut butter bone, because you really like that too. Our dogs are very big fans of fish. So are they gonna have a whole freeze-dried fish? Like, we have minnows, that's really high-value training treats, because they can fit in their tree pouches. But for like, oh, you just had to get out of your crate, I'm sorry, but you have to go back in there because someone's doing work or something, or streaming. That's when we whip out the big herring so that they'll go to bed without protest. Go sleep before stuff starts spawning on top of me. This is not lit up at all yet. Welcome back, Ellie. I hope that your walk went well. I just got back from feeding the puppers, so... Excellent timing on both of our parts there. Oh, I bet, yeah. I get that, Ellie. Especially because you were gone for a good little bit. That was a nice walk, especially for a smaller dog. Granted, Jack Russells are also very high energy, so they do need those. Especially so. But yeah, make sure you rest and get, especially because I'm pretty sure I remember you saying it was pretty warm where you are too right now. Make sure you get rehydrated and take a break. Yeah. Exactly. The heat wave. Yeah, I was about to say I thought you were later time zone. I thought you were over in Europe somewhere. I bet she was really excited for that walk, though. Just bouncing, running around like, oh, it's time to go. Okay. Let me drop the junk off. Okay. Yeah, I need to make the new pickaxe. That's what I was going to. Oof, that is rough, Ellie. I hope it cools down for you soon. The heat wave is over before too long. Ugh, 40. I don't remember the conversions up off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that's when it starts hitting the 90s Fahrenheit, somewhere around. Yeah, it was like somewhere high 90s, 100, I think. Right around there. It is. That's bad. Mm-hmm. Oh, 104. That's even worse than I thought it was. Yeah, I'm glad you waited until it was not, you know, that hot. It is. That's a really rough temperature to be at, especially with high humidity areas and areas that aren't used to it. Oof. Like summers in South Carolina were always rough, but whenever I think of temperatures like that, I'm always like, the one time we went to Brazil because my mom was having a midlife crisis and was dragging us off on cruises that we probably shouldn't have been going on, weren't wise financial decisions, but I remember it being up there in that temperature with like 100% humidity in Brazil when we went, and the sweat that ran down your neck was literally, it felt ice cold. It was so hot just because it was liquid. That's bad. And exactly, like, you don't, especially with the puppy, you don't want to hurt their paws on the pavement with that heat. And ooh, that's a very smart idea, Luffy. And I feel you, Ellie. I also want it to be cold again. And I hope that your time of 5:30 a.m., because that is rough, walks ends as quickly as it possibly can. Because ooh, that is never fun. I've also been trying to walk pretty early with Cosmo. Just, it's not quite that hot here yet, but it's starting to get there, and I'm not pleased. We've got a nasty heat wave coming next week. I am not exactly looking forward to it. That's for sure. I know Cosmo's gonna be, he might even like protest the walk, if I'm being real. He might refuse. Yeah, I'm also really hoping for your sake, Ellie, that it will cool down. That's what I think Mayanne was saying. It's supposed to cool down for you all over in Europe next week too. So here's hoping. Okay. Now we're gonna be back to dismantling stuff again. I'm basically out of sand already, which is dire. It was so much sand too, and I was like, surely that's gonna be a good chunk of sand last us a while. Not really. And there goes the shovel. All right, let's go repair that. Also gonna make some. There's something I wanted to do with the wood, and I don't remember it all of a sudden. I don't think I need more sticks or anything. Whatever. Oh yeah, chests. That's what it was. So I'm running out of junk chests. I was like, what was I gonna do with that? So I can just transfer that stuff up. And then make another junk chest there. So I'm gonna need it before too much longer. Just clearing out all this mess. Yeah, this is gonna be really big. Now that you guys, I feel like you can get a better idea of the scope of it now. This is gonna be big. It's gonna be really big. The goal is to have a whole bunch of camels eventually. It's a camel sanctuary. Thank you, Ellie. Yeah, it's gonna be, I'm trying to build something, like, the build itself isn't all that complex. It's gonna be mostly filling it out and trying to clear the area around it. That's mostly gonna take the time because it's mostly fence, just wrapping around the sand area and then like pillaring up and going to a glass ceiling to provide them shelter from rain and stuff, which isn't necessary, but it's a touch of realism that I appreciate. I'm gonna do like that. I know we talked about it earlier, but I'm looking forward to messing around and designing that sun pattern design in this stained glass somewhere, like some sort of observatory dome, something. I have ideas, TM. It's just a matter of actually putting them to the game because I haven't like built this ahead of time. I'm freehanding in this world. This is kind of an homage to how I used to play Minecraft, like when I was young. That's why I made my base into the side of the mountain near a village and all that stuff, because that was just kind of what you did. At least that's what I did, because I was never a huge builder. And that's also part of why there's so much focus on the building for mobs, because every single mod that I like would install back then was for mobs, like adding horses back before horses were added, snakes and things, just all sorts of animals to the game. It's always been my favorite part. I love the mobs in Minecraft. Yeah, you get it, Ellie. It's like, it's just one of those things that a lot of people, especially ones who are more, oh, I'm gonna play survival oriented, that's just what they did. Okay. This is gonna be such a big build, jeez. But I'm trying to get this general shape ironed out before we go too much further. Oh, that's so fun, Ellie. I'm glad you were able to find that switch. RIP to my old laptop that I got way back in middle school, and that I literally got for the sole purpose of playing Minecraft when I was young. That thing could barely run Minecraft, and I miss it all the same in a way. I miss the worlds over there. man, there are worlds back on that thing that predate emeralds. Just crazy to think about. Can't believe how much Minecraft has changed. Hello, Soren. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's going well. We're prepping to build a camel sanctuary now that we finally got camels from the 12-hour marathon stream right before I had to stop streaming for a bit. So we're terraforming right now. As you can see, this is going to be really big. I'm just sort of clearing out some space before I go get more sand to cover the ground and start getting a feel for how I want to lay it out physically. And then I can start putting fences around it and filling up, like, planting acacia trees and stuff to pretty it up before I put in the glass ceiling and everything, which is going to have a sun pattern on it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of just freehanding, but that's part of what I'm making myself do in my forever world. I'm not allowed to plan build things. There's only one exception, and that's a consistent lore piece that is already built. I'm not going to make myself build that from scratch for no reason, but everything else is going to be freehanded. Ooh, yeah. My favorite block is definitely, I'm a big fan of deep slate brick, if you couldn't tell. I've said I replace a few things, but I'm a big, that's my favorite block for sure. Item-wise, I love the shield. I love that they added the shield. It's made life so much easier. Skeletons used to be basically impossible to deal with, and as someone who has always played by the way of puppy army, that made my life harder than it needed to be. No problem at all, Soren, don't you worry. I think I do have some. We're gonna have to go get more iron soon. Might have to do a bit of impromptu caving if I keep burning through tools like this. I'm gonna need this. Make an axe. 2. I don't think I've actually seen your Raiders. I'm gonna have to tune in at some point. See, I've not been able to watch nearly as many streams as I'd like to recently. I've been able to kind of dip in and then have to dip out for the most part. Just sad because I miss it. I like hanging out in chats, but it's just been so busy. The house stuff. We're getting there though. We're getting to a point where it should be not nearly as bad soon. Yeah, exactly. That's just how it goes sometimes, unfortunately. Such is adulting. Definitely want to make it more gradual slope here. I think I'm gonna take it all down a layer. Make it like 2 blocks wide. Maybe 1 3-block wide, so at the top. Vary it up a bit so it doesn't look quite so uniform, especially since I'm kind of... I'll probably build some hills into it and stuff, but... yeah, let's... just get it all down a layer so it's not quite so jarringly steep. Dirt here. Okay. Oh, that Slenderman. Slenderman? Wow, okay. That Enderman needs to leave me alone. We are built like right over a massive cave system, Soren, and so I don't know what it is about Endermen spawning specifically in that cave system, but they are in this village all the time, constantly. I just hear them zipping around. Love when Minecraft adds cinema into the game, just an extra bit of horror. My brain is too locked in on Dredge. I'm looking forward to playing that again on Wednesday. It seems like people want me to play more of it. Not looking forward to them making me fish through the night, but such is life. Oh, hey, look, that's convenient. Thank you. I need more of this. Yeah, we're gonna have to go mining for more iron soon because I'm just chewing through it to do this terraforming. That may well end up being what we do next stream, go caving somewhere. It's always a fun time. Or at least the next Minecraft stream. Sunday's called the Land. There we go. And I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow because MCC. And not quite yet, Sora. We are working on getting the map and stuff set up for it now, though. And if you would be interested in joining, you can shoot me a DM about it later. Because I did consider asking you, I just wasn't sure if you'd be too busy with what you are currently doing. And I might make an iron farm at some point, Luffy. I'll be honest, I've never been much of in the way of making farms on Minecraft. I tend to prefer to the adventure. And I don't know if VOD herself would be big on the idea of an iron farm, considering it's kind of a torture machine. And ooh, Ellie. Normally with Blackstone, I like to do contrast. So you're normally looking at stuff like you're normally looking at the brighter, like, because the blacks, if you get different shades of black, they look kind of funny. I would normally go like pale oak, cherry wood, stuff that's really bright, because it matches up with it really well. Like, it makes it stand out all the more. Yeah, absolutely. We don't have a set date or anything on it quite yet. Anyway, Soren, it's probably gonna be sometime this summer, but it's gonna be a long, like, ongoing thing. It's just something that's gonna be more casual. You don't have to be on all the time, it's no big deal. And it'll end once we've kind of got to where we want to be with story beat wise. And yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, like on Bedrock, it doesn't sound quite so bad. The Java, all the iron farms, I'm like, they just kind of make me sad. I'm like, I don't know that I want to build that. I could just go into a cave. All good, Soren. Apologies for the ads, such as Twitch. And you're all good, Luffy, don't worry. We're not talking about it in too much detail yet. All is well. No worries, no worries. I don't mind teasing it a little bit, especially for you guys who are around and here. So I appreciate you all so very much. There would be no SMP at all without you guys watching, so you know. Teasing a little bit's fine. Especially as we get closer to actually working on it. Or, you know, actually getting it done, rather. We are working on it actively. Hmm. You are so real for that, Luffy. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to getting on Treehouse again. I've gone on it once to just kind of look around, get a feel for it, and then I made sure that it was cool to stream before I did so. And so I'm planning on showing the others who are not on there around at some point. Now that I know that I am in the clear to do so, because the builds on that server are just so beautiful. And I want to kind of go explore and find a place to set up shop. But I have no idea where that'll be yet. Let me get some more iron. Hang out here for a bit. But at least with Treehouse, you don't have to worry about losing your inventory or anything. Welcome back, Soren. But no, yeah, I don't know how much of that you heard. It'll probably be sometime like late summer, but we can discuss details more in detail. And even if you can't do it right away, if you decide you want to join later, that is also fine. There is certainly nothing that keeps travelers from arriving at the village later on. And yeah, I thought it said something like that, but I couldn't find it when I went looking for it, Luffy, so I just asked to make sure, and they said it was all good. So I was like, okay. And no one seems to have it. I could send a message and be like, I'm live, by the way, so if anyone doesn't want to be around and involved, they can go. Or, you know, I can make sure to steer clear of them, rather. Go makes it sound like I was like, log off, I'm here. Not what I meant. Okay. Yeah, exactly. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Yeah, I can imagine Acorn and Eve are on a lot. I've seen. Or, you know, not a lot necessarily, but I can't blame them that they're both busy. It's one of those things, they're both busy. So a lot of times when you're on, you're also streaming, which is part of why I asked. It's like, I want to dedicate time to playing it, but I know I'm going to be able to dedicate a lot less to playing it if I can't play it while I'm also streaming. So I'm one of those that it's like, well, I've got to pre-plan for all my stream stuff and get everything set up beforehand, all nice and done, and then things go wrong anyway, and you've got to fix it midstream, but such is life. I did fix the weird overlay issue with Dredge, or at least quote-unquote as fixed as it gets, because the aspect ratio is just weird on that game with my monitor. By fix, I fit it to screen, and I put the be right back screen underneath it so that there, instead of black bars, there's the pink gingham pattern from Lottie's flannel around the borders, so it looks at least a little purposeful. And that was the best I could do. Because there is simply no making that game in particular fit for some reason. Oh yeah, I bet, Luffy. And I feel that, like, I don't know what I'll because I'm one of those, like, on Cult of the Lamb, I also don't have a controller for my computer. I don't really have a console that uses the kind of controllers that are compatible. And so it's like, well, I don't really care to get a controller to play games on my computer. I normally just play it mouse and keyboard. Even when it's like, developer recommends, I'm like, well, how bad is it with mouse and keyboard? And the answer is usually not bad. Or at least not bad enough to make me bother getting a controller. I've just never been very much of a console person, I'll be real. I think the only console I really ever had was, we got the Wii when I was young, but that's about it. Ooh, Elden Ring would be something else. I salute all the more power to you. I don't think that I could do it. And yeah, that makes sense. If I did get a controller, it'd probably be an Xbox because I also have Windows, but it's like, ugh, we don't have, like, ugh. It just feels like one of those silly things. It's, I don't know why I would, do I really need to? I don't know what it is about me that it's like, well, if I don't have to buy this thing, like a second monitor or whatever for, then why should I? Is also in the same breath, like, well, of course the dogs need an agility course in our backyard. This is essential to their... It's because I do not buy controllers for my computer so I can afford to buy agility courses for my dogs. And yeah, that makes sense. That'd probably be exactly where I am, where I'd be too. If I wasn't being overly cautious and paranoid constantly, and even then, probably. I'm also more of a cozy player, just kind of, you know. Like, I'm not bad at combat games, but it's just not my cup of tea. It's not as fun. And yeah, to be fair, I might at some point later on down the road. I'm not pressed about it right now because I really don't need it. I have a little phone stand that I can keep my, I have a pop-up chat screen on my thing, but I can look at any alerts and redemptions on my phone with my stream manager over there. It's not a big deal because I have a little stand for it anyway. But eventually I probably will cave and get another monitor. But before I didn't have the desk space to do that anyway. I do now because I got a bigger desk now that I have an actual office, but the sunbeam, that's really cute, especially with the whole cat thing. Luffy, that's adorable. I love that. But no, yeah, I get that. It's one of those, well, does it really fit the vibe of what we're... That's kind of what I debated before. I'm like, well, Dredge is kind of a horror game, but it's also fishing, and I do a lot of fishing, so I suppose it works. It's not too off-brand. Let's go take all this stuff down. Dump more junk into the trunk chests. Please let me sleep. But no, yeah, I'm so cautious in games like that I really am. I'm like, I have to force myself. I'm gonna have to make the stop being a weenie channel point redemption so you guys can force me to fish at night and face some of the consequences to actually see the horror game a bit. And yeah, that's fair. I would completely get that, Luffy. Not a super big, not really a warm and cozy game, but perhaps spooky streams during October. And yeah, I had a feeling. I've had to do it a couple of times. Or, you know, I've had to do it once so far. I was not a big fan. Like, I know that theoretically you can, that it doesn't get that bad that fast, and that I do have a very quick boat now. My brain is like, no thank you, no thank you. I would like to leave. Okay, we're finally getting to the upper level. Oh yeah. Once I can actually get my boat upgraded some more, it's not gonna be quite so like terrifying every time I go out. Right now I'm just being extra cautious because, you know, it's like it feels like I'm so early in the game. And I know that in a way I am, but at the same time, not as much as I'm like waffling about to be. Okay, let's clear out some trees up here. So I'll need to make space. I'll worry about actually terraforming up here later. I'm just trying to chop trees to clear out the land here. Because it's gonna be, there's gonna be like an extra level up here. I'm really, really aiming for big on this. This is starting to clear up a bit. After I clear out some of the trees up here, I'll go out and get more sand, I think. I'm gonna need so much of it. Even more than I thought I would. Inventory is full of sand. I think we're about at the point where we won't need to clear out too much more. There we go. Clear out these a couple more trees in this little cove up here. It'll be good. I think on the actual clearing of the land here. I'll need more sand before I can really start doing too much further there. Okay, there we go. Phewy. Okay, time to go get more sand. I have to mess with the terraforming there a bit more too. I forget that they splash around in there. I was like, what in the world's in the well? Okay, it's just sheep. I was like, what in the world is here? Okay. Okay. See any drown or anything? If only we had deserts nearby, then it wouldn't be nearly as difficult to gather sand. The lack of deserts nearby is why we're building a camel sanctuary in the first place. But now there's drowned around here. Okay. No longer really worth dealing with. Like, I'll take care of the one. But if they start spawning, it's like, okay, that's enough. Let me sleep, please. I would like to sleep. Okay. swim across over here. Just bounce back and forth a little bit at the shore, gather as much sand as we can find. It's plenty of sand to gather. And I really am gonna go mining probably next time we're live. Just to get more iron for everything. Swim around. Must be a cave somewhere nearby with bats that I can hear in there. Not a huge deal. I'm not worried about it. I've collected sand from here. But there's still a decent bit. I can do anything. There we go. Another shovel. This is gonna. Oh, look at the caves that are under there. That is something else. I'll just finish with this layer, I think, and then I will move on to another spot. There comes a certain point where you're not getting enough sand for the struggle at the water. Especially when there's still so much to go through. There's so much water around here. It's not hard to coast. All of this, and I just want. I'm really looking forward to building this Camel Sanctuary, especially because I don't know if you guys. I know they're up there with The Sims in a matter of like DLC content, but I'm okay with that in certain instances. And I am a sucker for Planet Zoo, so Planet Zoo 2, I'm very, very excited for. And building a camel sanctuary in Minecraft is just making me even more excited for Planet Zoo 2, I'm gonna be real. I'm looking forward to all the new animals that are a part of it. And I really like the conservation aspect of it, and the fact that they keep it so up to date, and they try to do genuine fundraising for it too. It's cool. Raising awareness of animals in need is a very good way of drumming up public interest. People can't care about an animal they don't know exists. Not most people, anyway. Okay. Starting to get to the point of, okay, not getting really enough sand to be worth sticking here. Trying to move on to another spot. But yeah, I know I'm gonna have to, it's still gonna be predominantly Minecraft, so don't worry about that. But Sunday is always gonna be variety day. Dredge will only last so long. I imagine that after a certain point, I'm gonna have to start coming up with other games to play on variety day Sundays. I want to play Digimon Time Stranger with you guys. I think that'd be fun. And there's voice acting and everything in most of it. It's a really cool. And Planet Zoo 2 might be one of those games, actually, I think. So. Just because, as much as I love Minecraft and doing stuff in Minecraft and having so many different servers that I'm now in helps. Because I can just go to a different server to do different things. Sometimes the brain craves different stimuli. ADHD things. Sometimes it's well, I want to do something else, though. If I don't schedule a day to do something else, then my brain will schedule it for me and nothing will get done. Such is life. Okay, there's more. There we are. We got more sand right here we can dig out. Oh, there goes. Oh. I'm gonna have to go caving again. I really am. Sun's going down, so we're gonna have to get to land again soon. Mobs spawning everywhere. Not that we're exactly far from something were to go awry, but I'm always the sort to play it safe where I can. You'll get to see me do a lot more reckless, silly shenanigans on Treehouse SMP because keep inventories on and nothing matters. I can be reckless and do whatever I want. And there's a certain kind of fun in that. It emboldens. So I'm pretty excited to actually play with a server that does have that on. I just like to make things a bit more difficult for myself in solo worlds because, well, I do have that tendency to be cautious. And it's more fun if there's actual consequences. Both for me and for you guys to watch. Like, what a conclusion to the Camel quest before, where I had to do stuff off stream to get them back because I died. It still would have had some degree of impact, just by nature of having to go back and get live animals. Or, you know, mobs to transport them. But it wouldn't have been the same. And apologies for being a bit quiet here and there tonight. You could probably hear it in my voice. My throat's still a little sore. That weather pressure is not being kind to me. I don't have like a fever or anything anymore, so that's a plus. But that could also be the medication I took, to be fair. Because I did have... It just wasn't bad. I was like, I'm well enough. It's fine. I wanted to play Minecraft. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate you. She's like, because there's certain kind of sicknesses where it's like, well, there's nothing else I can really do about it. I know it's just the weather and the air pressure right now because of the storm front coming in. But just laying around almost makes it feel worse because then I'm focusing on how much it's like, ow. Yeah, that's true. It's like I feel like everyone would be like, I would rather not have a sore throat actually ever. But there's not really a benefit to that. It just kind of stinks whenever it happens. That's it. And it feels extra silly that it's like my throat and my head are throwing a riot because the weather. Heaven forbid it get too warm and rain. It's like, oh no. It's like, doesn't that feel a bit dramatic? Nervous system, do we have to be doing all of that right now? Ooh, that's a good patch of sand right there. Ooh, yay. Yeah, that's a good one. It really does. Weather affects so very much, and it's like, why? Why do you have to... Like, it makes sense, logically. But I hate the summer. I hate the summer so much. I'll say it with my full chest, I hate summer. They con people into liking summer because it's the time they get off of school, and then they grow up with that association. But summer sucks. Summer's never any fun. It's just miserably hot. It gets bright way too early. It's way too hot to do anything. They're like, oh, but all the beaches and stuff. I would rather be at a beach when it's not miserable to be on this, when the sand doesn't scald my feet. Like, even if I were the kind of person to like going to the beach all that much, you're going during the worst time to go to the beach. It's just hot. It's miserable. It's so hard to stay hydrated. It brings way worse thunderstorms. And exactly, Ellie. Like, it makes it harder to sleep. The heat, especially. See, even with air conditioning, a lot of times, it's like even when you have air conditioning, a lot of times the heat rises and it gets warm, it gets trapped in certain rooms. And it's still noticeably warmer. Like, at night especially, it's like, why does it feel like this? It feels awful. This is gross. Exactly. You get dizzy, it's harder to, like, What was that? Did I not break my bed? Are you kidding me? Oh, I know what this is. This is rain. I was like, why did the sky do that? It's rain here. It's because I'm in the savannah. Okay, I'll go pick up my bed. I need to go back and pick up my bed. Oh, it's nighttime also. Lovely. Or there's just mobs that were camping out in trees. My bed's gotta be somewhere. Oh, it's a thunderstorm. That explains it. I'm gonna get struck by lightning again on stream, probably. I stuck with the coastline, but might honestly be better to just head back, grab a new bed, and go to bed. I can at least use the sand that I have currently. I can go back and get more whenever. Locking in. Okay. The double enchanted bows was evil. At least it's safe here. There we go. All is normal here. I'm glad that this little safe haven for the villagers is actually a safe haven. It seems to be keeping mobs out very well. Okay. all of this away. And I think I don't have an extra bed. So I used it. Yeah. So I need to make a new pair of shears. To go clip the sheep and get another bed. Okay. Let's go get that taken care of quick. And then I think we'll replace what we can with the sand that we have. Ground-wise. Hello, how did you get out of there? Or wherever you were? Oh yeah, I forgot. I think I just fetched those guys and put them in here because I didn't have anywhere to put them in. That's funny. We'll make a gray bed. One, two, three. Bed. Make it pink. There we go. I could just kind of toss this assorted wool into my bundle. Put it down here. And I only have one piece of iron left, so once I break this, actually, yeah. Once I run through this pickaxe, I think I'm gonna stop digging so that I have an iron pickaxe. Well, I can get more iron stone if I have to. I do have a diamond, so it doesn't matter. I'll burn through these. Hello, the Chaos Skelly. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. Oh, hello, wandering trader. What do you have? Anything particularly? Nothing I really need. Have a good one, though. Please don't walk in front of my pickaxe. That's how I end up having to kill your llamas because they're spitting at me. Sir, this is a construction zone. I would like to request you to vacate the premises, please. To fill that hole so that I don't have to use 2 pieces of sand for it. Let's see how much of this we can cover with sand, or replace with sand rather. And then I'll have at least a rough idea of how much more sand gathering we're going to need to do. Which is a lot, because we have to do it all again for the glass ceiling. But But yeah, we're working on, now that we finally got the camels here, Chaos Skelly, we are working on building a sanctuary for them, like a really big enclosure, since apparently deserts and by extension, like camels are like some sort of endangered species here. Because it should not have taken us 60,000 blocks to find the camels. So obviously it's up to us to repopulate the camel population in this world. That was what I wanted to do. There we go. Excuse me, this is still an active construction zone. Thank you. Here's your distinguish there. It's like you're making it your mission, Mr. Wandering Trader, to get in my way. Like actively trying to impede this, which is kind of funny. But why are you being such a hater? Is it because you didn't have anything I wanted to buy? I'm sorry. Get better wares. Replace that with dirt. We'll blend in the terrain surrounding it a bit more after we get the actual base structure. It's getting dark, so I most certainly need to head back down and sleep or start spawning up here. But it's not quite late enough for me to worry about it yet. We'll go this road on. I would crash out, I think, if all the sand got blown up by creepers or something. Not genuinely, but it's already hard enough to gather sand in this world. Don't make it harder. No need for that. Okay, I still have a decent bit of sand, actually. Gonna get further than I thought I would today. Not a problem at all, Soren. I hope you have a good one. Get some rest. And thank you for the well wishes. Hopefully the Camel Sanctuary won't take too many streams to get done. This is a good start, that's for sure. There were stars in the sky. Please let me sleep. I know it's the shaders, but... Come on. Thank you. More layers. This is actually coming along a lot further than I expected it to, all things considered. Like, it could definitely be going slower. Almost up to the top. Then it'll be a matter of figuring out how I want to layer it up there. So I think doing like a really big circular shape up there would be fun, because that would also give a better way for me to do the sun. Circles within circles and all. But that might be something I have to actually plan out a little bit. Between streams. It's certainly not a today project. That's another time. I'm not gonna get quite that far. I already wasn't sure that I would get all the sand. It's okay. Nice. Making good progress with it. Another shovel down. It's the last iron shovel. Okay, I don't need to change that. There we go. Mark that barrier there. I think I need to mark the barrier over here too, because otherwise it's gonna be a little funky. Get this last little layer here. And I think we'll do some inventory sorting and probably call it a day. At least for now. Okay, we still have not a ton of sand left, but we've got some. We're making good progress on actually getting this sanctuary up and built. So I'm very pleased with what we've done today. Let's drop all of this junk. All right. Save there. Thank you guys for coming out and hanging out in the stream with me. I really appreciate you all. It's been fun. I my head's starting to hurt again, so I'm gonna wrap it up a little bit early. Nothing too crazy. We still got a lot done. Appreciate you all coming to hang out. We're gonna probably, well, just a reminder for everyone that I'm not gonna be streaming tomorrow because of MCC. Make sure you go show everyone some love and support over there. MCC Pride is going to be awesome. There's so many POVs. I'm going to be struggling to keep up with the ones I'm watching. Um, Sunday is Cult of the Lamb Day, but Monday we will be back probably here because I would like to get this Camel Sanctuary done. So we should be back on the Forever World Monday, and I'll see you guys all then. Let's figure out who to raid into, shall we? Let's see. Get all the raid messages for you all. Raid all for if you're not subscribed. Raid sub for if you are. Not an ad break now. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate you. Let's make sure we get this raid out of here before it tries to hit you guys with ads. Again, there's no need for all that. Raid channel. Okay, it doesn't look like our charity stream is up, but Viking Pilot is live, and he's on Everwake today. So let's go raid into him, show him some love. I haven't had the chance to raid into Viking yet. That simply will not do after he followed me. Bye, guys. Thank you for hanging out.